everybody, welcome to Seriously Lighthearted Yoga. Today we're going to be talking about your spine.
Again.
Yeah, we spoke about it a long ways back. A few months ago for sure. It was a long time ago. But we're going to dive into a little bit more detail, kind of take it a little different perspective, and then over the next few days we're going to kind of show you how to work your spine.
A couple other things about it, yeah. So guys, your spine, if you remember, it's supposed to have that kind of curvy part in the lower back. It's supposed to kind of curve the opposite direction around your ribs. And then your neck is also supposed to have just a little tiny curve in it. I say this because in a lot of instructors will give you the cue of straightening your spine, and when you do that, you should never go too straight. You don't want it to look like a ramrod, a steel bar is right there. That's actually throwing your spine out of alignment if you do that. So when they say straighten your spine, you want to keep some of those natural curves. However, if you know that you exaggerate something a little more, something, say for example, your head comes really far forward, and you know that, like thinking maybe about bringing it back. But the other thing I want to remind you guys of before we get into this spine section here is from your hips, think of reaching your spine up and out of them. If you think of kind of like a potted plant, and the plant being the spine that comes up, and the pot being the hips, where your spine is kind of resting, and the foundation of it, you could say. And this will actually be kind of activating for your back, and then also for your core as well, because all of these muscles right here, in part, keep your spine stable. So, a few things you might see from that. You might find that your core gets stronger just by nature of doing that whenever you're sitting anywhere, like you can think about it. And then you might find that over time your posture seems to improve, so that you don't have to hold it as much. It becomes more natural for you to sit that way, just because those muscles are stronger and being used again. Because sitting there, we kind of tend to relax it and let them kind of sag and become loose and inactive. But if you remember to activate them and keep your spine upright, it does make a difference in your posture. And then the third being, you might just you get a little thinner. And that actually, I believe, I haven't actually figured this out for sure, but when your spine is, when you sit on it, it becomes compressed, and that kind of collapses everything in on itself. So if you just kind of pull it out to where it's supposed to be again, it does kind of naturally make you look a little bit thinner. So if you're going for that, welcome.
Yeah, these are definitely all pluses. The other thing that, like Kai was talking about when you're talking about the pot, make sure that you're pressing evenly into both your sit bones, and that's going to give you a nice stable base for your spine to rest there.
You can even think about that standing. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And in any posture, whether it's like downward dog or something like that, pushing into your sit bones evenly down, or in the case of like downward dog, in the upward position,
still down,
and then expanding and rising up through your spine. So
elongating. Yeah,
absolutely. So give that some thought. Like Kai was saying, though, the natural curve to your spine is just fine. That's exactly that. It's natural.
You don't want it to look straight.
Yeah, you don't need it to be straight. But see if that helps for you guys. We will be going over some exercises over the next few days that can kind of help you with that. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow.